Hey there, cats and kittens. Welcome to 5-Star Television. I'm your host, Mike Coughlin from 5-Star Radio fame. Now, many of you have probably listened to the show at Figure4Online.com. Some of you have probably watched this here simulcast version of the 5-Star Television program. Again, it's Figure4Online.com. Now, most of you are probably used to me recording the radio show while simultaneously just recording with the video camera what I'm saying on air. However, today, folks, we have what is a very first in 5-Star Television history. This is an exclusive 5-Star Television broadcast. That's right, we will be breaking down WEC 44, Mike Brown versus Jose Aldo, with the Featherweight Championship of the World at stake. It will be exclusive to 5-Star Television right here on YouTube.com, which means it will be less than 10 minutes, so this is a short little break to get you excited for this Wednesday's big fight. This Wednesday, November the 18th, live on Versus, Mike Brown defends his Featherweight Championship of the World against Jose Aldo, the Brazilian wrecking machine, the man who is carrying on the great tradition of elite Brazilian strikers. And he steps into the, well, I guess it is technically an octagon, to ply his wares against one of the sport's strongest featherweights in Mike Brown. The champ Mike Brown, the man who beat Uriah Faber a year ago to become the undisputed 145-pound king of the world, knocking out Faber in the first round with a series of punches. And now he, of course, like I said, he takes on Jose Aldo, a Brazilian Muay Thai wrecking machine. Now, Brown has been an impressive champion during his reign of terror, beating Uriah Faber twice and making short work of Leonard Garcia, and prior to that, beating the underrated but always dangerous Jeff Curran from right here in the great Chicago, Illinois area. So Mike Brown is undeniably an incredible talent. But Jose Aldo, my friends, is magic. This man is, in my opinion, the 145-pound equivalent of Anderson Silva, except for I think he's a better grappler. And his striking is not as refined, but his takedown defense might be better. He is dangerous. His strikes are precise. They are deadly. They will hurt people. His last fight against Cub Swanson on the undercard of Faber Brown 2, Aldo knocked out Swanson something like 6 seconds with a double flying knee. Not one knee, 2 knees at the same time, landing smack into his jaw. That's what Jose Aldo brings to the table. The man is undefeated in his WEC career, has 1 loss in his career against Luis Azeredo, in which he was taken down and repeatedly held there, which unfortunately for Aldo, I believe is going to be Mike Brown's big game plan. If I'm Mike Brown, I'm going to be standing there, I'm going to be getting inside, I'm just going to be trying to box a little bit, but most importantly, I want to get in, and I want to tie up, and I want to grab those hips. Mike Brown wants to control the hips, these big, beautiful, not big, these svelte, tiny, petite, amazingly attractive, well-toned hips of mine, representing what Aldo has to bring to the table. Because the one thing Brown, as a wrestler who wrestled, I always say Washington, but he's actually from Maine. He's a solid wrestler, a powerful guy. He couldn't necessarily out-wrestle Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber was a Division I caliber wrestler. I mean, the guy was a placeholder. He went to the NC2A tournament. That's what I'm trying to say. A tournament competitor. Uriah Faber is an outstanding wrestler, and Mike Brown was able to deal with him. Now, Jose Aldo has a good sprawl on basically one technique, and that is, if you shoot a single leg takedown on Jose Aldo, you're going to have problems. Because what Jose Aldo does, if you grab his one leg, what he does is he takes his body, he turns it, and he yanks the foot out as he runs away. Think of him himself as literally turning and running away from his opponent. Now, this doesn't work all the time in amateur wrestling because you have the shoe. So when your opponent turns and you run off the single leg, they will grab and hold onto the shoe, which gives you better traction, allows you to take the guy down. It can actually be dangerous in amateur wrestling. But in MMA, with no shoes available, the grip is less, allowing Mike Brown to have a more difficult time taking him down. So I think Brown's better course of action is to get in on the hips. Don't try to take Jose Aldo down by the legs. He wants to get the hips. He wants to get doubles or body locks and bring him to the mat. Now, Aldo is good on the ground, but I don't think he's going to be enough to tap out Mike Brown off his back. You know, Jeff Curran couldn't do it. Mike Brown was able to pass Curran's guard, get on top of him. He could handle what Curran had to offer on the mat, at least while on top. Now, If Brown's on the bottom, he's going to be in problems. Because again, Jose Aldo is a machine. He's a wrecking machine. He took on the man that for years was considered the sport's top 145-pound grappler and fighter. A man who was undefeated for, I believe, 5 or 7 years in Shuto as a titleist. And Alexander Pequeno Nogueira. No relation to the famous Nogueira brothers. But one of the sport's best grapplers and a man who has a legendary guillotine. There are a few men who are known for their special techniques. Mirko Krokop with a high kick. Matt Hughes with a takedown. Anderson Silva with the knees from the clinch. And Alexander Pequeno Nogueira, he was known for his guillotine. The most deadly single submission anyone ever had in their arsenal as a mixed martial artist. And Jose Aldo beat him. Not only did he beat him, he eventually, with Nogueira on his back, with a deadly guard, pounded him. He knocked him out with ground and pound from inside a world-class grappler's guard. That's the kind of game Aldo can bring. Oh, and yeah, again, he's one of the most dangerous and versatile strikers on the planet. And when I say versatile, I truly mean that. And I don't mean that in the sense of some guys are versatile, but they're not really all that dangerous. You know, though, like Brandon Vera is very versatile, but he's not all that dangerous. Jose Aldo throws blistering leg kicks. He snaps around on those leg kicks. He turns into it. He is not one of these guys that throws a kick and moves back. Throws a kick, moves back. He gets all the way around on his leg kicks. When he leg kicks somebody, it hurts. Let's praise Cecil Peoples is not judging this fight. Because Cecil Peoples is judging this fight, Jose Aldo's screwed. Because, you know, leg kicks don't count. But for the rest of the world, for the rest of us who live in the real world where leg kicks hurt like a mother, Jose Aldo can hurt you. He can throw high kicks. His punches have accuracy and power. It's rare. You don't see that many strikers, particularly Muay Thai strikers, with good hands. Muay Thai as an art, because you're up on your toes more, you don't see guys with really effective punches. Usually it's the American boxers because they kind of squat down low, their hands are right here, they turn over more, they have more effective punching power. The Muay Thai guys being up high. Jose Aldo, though, has a remarkable ability to whip real hard punches while still having a Muay Thai stance. Very few guys have deadly knees, kicks, and punches. Jose Aldo has all of it. He is precise. He lands on target. He's not as precise as Anderson Silva. I'll give him that. If there's one negative on Jose Aldo, is that he's not as precise as one of the most precise strikers in the history of, you know, all humankind. But Aldo can strike, and he lands his punches about as effectively as anybody you're going to ever see. His guard is good. His ability to pass a guard is good. His defense on the single leg is good. Mike Brown's in trouble. Now, what does Mike Brown have? He's got heavy hands. He doesn't want to stay with Aldo. Aldo doesn't really seem to make too many mistakes standing up. Aldo will beat Brown on the feet. I don't think it's going to be one of those situations, you know, I'm a big fan of like American boxers kind of get in there and they can kind of use American fundamentals and they're going to boom, 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 oh, boom. Yeah, you're not going to see that out of Mike Brown. He's going to get lit up if he stands with Jose Aldo. But the one thing he's got is he's big. Jose Aldo is kind of small at 145 pounds. He's talked about going down to 135 and taking the title. Well, I guess at the time it was Miguel Torres, now Brian Bowles. Mike Brown ain't going to 135. Mike Brown barely can make 145. So Mike Brown should have a significant size advantage over Jose Aldo, which could be the difference. That all said, I'm picking Jose Aldo to beat Mike Brown because he hits like a true lightweight, even a welterweight. He is quick, fast, and accurate and deadly with those strikes. He is not just quick with his punches, but those punches every strike he throws seems to have power behind it. Every one of them. Now, there is, of course, a danger that the man may be mentally weak. Perhaps he mentally breaks. And he comes from the Nova Uneo camp, which is one of my favorite camps, but they have displayed at times a tendency to mentally shut down. See, Talis Leites against Anderson Silva earlier this year, when Leites just seemed to quit. That said, the man is a black belt under Anthony Pedernera's. Andre Pedernera's. Hey, there we go. Under Andre Pedernera's, he can strike like nobody's business. His wrestling is decent. He's always dangerous. He's cocky. And Jose Aldo walks around like a man who believes he can really, really win the title. And that's half the battle sometimes. Not everybody goes in there with the champ thinking that they're going to win. Jose Aldo does. I am officially picking Jose Aldo to beat Mike Brown this Wednesday night at WEC 44. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mike Coughlin for 5 Star Television here at Figure4Online.com saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.